The Charlie Gasparino is warning the General Electric CEO Jeffrey Immelt needs to beware the Ides of March. A possible coup d'etat could be in the works by a group of GE investors after the company missed target earnings and failed to cut expenses. Charlie tweeted his exclusive finding at 12:05 p.m. Eastern, and you can see that the stock has started to spike. That doesn't exactly bode well for Jeff Immelt.
Well, what it does show is that sophisticated investors believe that Jeff Immelt leaving the company would be at least a short-term catalyst for the stock. We should point out he's been there since 2001, right after the the NASDAQ blow-up and 9/11. He guided the company through the financial crisis. But here's been the perpetual problem with Jeff Immelt. Smart guy. Investors believe he has a steady hand. But the stock has never really done that well. The last 10 years, they've been lagging the S&P. He took over kind of at a high right after Jack Welch. He was left, and he was Jack's handpicked successor, and it's never really made it close to where it was at that point. He embarked on a cost-cutting plan, shedding off GE capital, or most of it, announced last year. But here's the rub. His salary went down 33% because he missed targets, particularly earnings targets and cost-cutting targets. And now they have an activist investor breathing down their neck. Trian Investments, Nelson Peltz, took his stake.
Not just any activist investor.
No, he's one of the best. He's the guy that forced out the head of DuPont before, DuPont before the Dow Chemical merger, was Eileen Coleman. We should point out this about Jeff Immelt. Smart guy, but again, we all have bosses. We all have to perform. And what we're hearing from Trian is that they believe right now he's not performing. He wants to.
Well, he has shed assets. He was handed a terrible hand post 9/11. I mean, I would stick up for him here on that level.
The benchmarks that Trian set are pretty interesting. Cost-cutting and earnings growth. He did not make it last year. And so what we understand is there's an internal debate inside Trian. He's essentially, Jeff Immelt's on a hot seat with Trian. They're talking about making a formal move against him as they made against Coleman of DuPont.
Which eventually did not survive.
She did not survive. Now, Jeff Immelt said he wants to leave in I believe when he's 65, in 3 or 4 years. He does have board support right now. You know, Trian's going to have to basically go into a long battle with the board. I'm not sure if they want to do what they did with the DuPont board, what they did with GE, but clearly Nelson Peltz is I would say his patience is about that close to running out.
You know, I came to a GE company, CNBC, in 1998, and the stock was way higher than it is now. And I remember Bill Bolster, who was running it at the time, as a treat, gave me stock options that hit at $72.
And what did he say to you?
He said, "You're in the money." That's how he said.
Just think about it.
This is what it means. You're in the money.
What year was that, by the way?
About 1999, 2000.
Okay, so
and then we never saw 72, so that wasn't worth the paper it was written on.
So, you know, Immelt took over in 2001. Now, he got a couple bad hands, 9/11, internet bubble burst.
CNBC is citing your report.
Of course they are. Do they break news anymore over there without us? You know, here's the kicker to this thing. If you doubt there's any validity to this, you shouldn't, because I have sources right there, right close to the matter. We asked GE for a comment. They gave us no comment. We asked Trian for a comment on the whole thing, whether Nelson Peltz is losing confidence in Jeff Immelt. We hear he is. Whether we understand he may be pushing soon for him to early retire. They didn't deny it. Here's what they say. Trian and GE continue to work constructively together to optimize shareholder value. That's not a denial when you get the full Monty of what we're going to report, which they did. We should point out that the full story of this will be momentarily on foxbusiness.com. We did move the stock on this, so I would say this is going to be
widely held. A lot of you have it somewhere in your portfolio.
It's one of the biggest, $124 billion company. I would say this is the beginning of what could be not a very good relationship.
Where are the Ides of March? Yes, working constructively, is that code for, you know, beating somebody up verbally?
We might ask you to hit the road, Jack. That's what that means.
Charlie, thank you very much.
Okay.
Breaking it right here.